we're all excited, kind of, because like the whole next season's coming out soon. Like no one knows exactly when, like they won't say, but everyone knows soon. And so we listened to this podcast with Don Melton, who talks about Westworld with this crazy giggly girl, and they have thought way more about this entire series than I ever did. And also, in my defense, right around the time Westworld came out, weed became legal, so we were doing both of those at the same time. So while there were a couple episodes I was very focused on, I also don't have a great memory of them. So we might watch that. Oh, hey everybody! I'm gonna say it's April. I think it's April, if I'm not mistaken. We didn't tape last month because we were too busy for something involving a boat and a vacation. And I don't think we taped in February either. I think we had a reason for not taping in February, but I don't remember it because that's the way my whole brain works. Unless I did tape in February. I don't know. Did I tape in February? Anyone know?
I don't know.
This is an unanswerable thing. We either did or we didn't tape the February show. I know we didn't tape March because it didn't work out because we were crazy busy. Anyway, welcome to April. First thing, I'm sure all of you at home or all at Twitter, you're like, there's something different with Keith's hair. It looks strange. It looks different and strangely a little bit better in a way I can't quite put my finger on. I'm going to tell you what that way is. As you know, I'm now 51 years old. It's not really part of the story. I just mentioned that because in a little bit you're going to be like, oh, what a moron. I'm 51 years old. Lately I've been trying to exercise for years. And in particular lately, I've been trying to go to the fitness center at this new building I work at and exercise there because it's convenient. Like I can just walk there and dump my bag and do some exercise and then shower and go to work. Or I can go to work and then I can go exercise and shower and go home. Either one. I'm flexible, but that involves me showering at a place that isn't my house, where I typically shower most of the time. And specifically, I get to the little gym shower, and there are little stalls. I get in, you turn the water on, you figure out what position on the clock is the right temperature, and then you put it there forever. And then I turn around, and they've got the little pumpy tubies of stuff to wash your body with, since it's disgusting, since you've been sweating and doing whatever else. And they got the body wash, so I body wash, and soap, wash the face, rinse the face, wash the face, blah, blah, blah. You got the little shampoo thing, shampoo the head, shampoo the hair, rinse, okay? And then I look over, and there are 3 containers there. I've gone through 2, right? There's the one that says body wash, and there's the one that says shampoo, and between those 2, there's one that says conditioner. And like the first couple of times, I'm like, what the hell is conditioner for? I thought shampoo had conditioner in it. And I looked at my house, and like my shampoo says shampoo with conditioner. So I was like, why would you have a separate conditioner thing? Seems wrong, so I ignored it. And then like some time went by, and then I was showering one time, and apparently I was in an experimental mood. That's my life lately. I'm trying new things. I'm experimenting. I'm taking a bite out of the orange, etc., etc., etc. I'm like, what the heck? What is conditioner? I didn't know, so I went to Google. What is conditioner? And then it was like, well, you put it in after you shower, and then you rinse it out. And I'm like, okay. They could have just put that on the bottle, although just a label on the bottle. It's like the next time I'm there, I'm like, shower your body wash, rinse, shampoo, rinse, conditioner. I'm like, feels kind of weird. Then I rinsed it out. It takes a long time to rinse conditioner out compared to everything else. Rinse. And then like go back, brush the hair. I think I didn't have a brush of the thing yet, so I brushed the hair with my fingers, the way guys can do. And then that was in the morning. And then like mid-afternoon, I happened to be in the restroom. Because again, I'm 51 years old. That's what I do now. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I went, good Lord, your hair isn't a total disaster like it normally is, with just bits poking up every direction. Apparently that's what conditioner does. Like if you put conditioner in your hair, it stops just pointing up in random directions 20 minutes after you finish drying it off. It changed my life, man. It didn't change my life. Like, if I'm there, I will put a little conditioner. Today, I was like, I should put conditioner in my hair. I'm going to be on TV tonight. I need to look good. Well, I need to look as good as I can. So I did that. And it's wonderful, man. Like, Loretta did not have to pull this weird little comb that she has out and like try to make my hair lay flat, which never works because apparently I've been doing it wrong for like, I don't know if I had hair the first year and a half. If I did, I probably didn't care what it looked like. So like 45 years, I could have been doing it better. Someone should have mentioned it. Like, I had health classes in school. When they didn't teach me the stuff they were supposed to teach me in health class, they could have mentioned this, like at least once. Like, hey, put some freaking conditioner in your hair and it won't poke up everywhere. And maybe people will love you, is what I'm saying. Also on the hair, it's about time to get a haircut, which I know because like the back of my head just seems to have a little more hair than I like. I've been keeping track of the interval. You know, it used to be like every 6 or 8 weeks. Now it's, well, I think I got my hair cut last fall sometime, so maybe... Here's another thought I've had lately. It's a short thought. I read a fair amount of science fiction, and I've read a lot of science fiction for my whole life, because science fiction, I'm kind of a sciencey guy. It appeals to me. Not big in the fantasy stuff, science fiction, hard science fiction, etc., etc. And there are a couple authors I've read a lot of their stuff, and I'm like, well, that's good science fiction, but it seems kind of dystopian. It seems like they have predicted a future that is a lot worse than I think the future is going to be. And the other day, I was thinking about like some William Gibson novels where like it's just pure anarchy in the future, and like no one knows who's in charge, and there's competing governments, and I'm like, that's insane. That's never going to happen. And now I'm like, that man was a genius. That man knew pretty much exactly where we were going. Everything's going to be a disaster. We are headed that direction. Terribly sorry, people. It's making me feel bad. I already mentioned the exercise thing. Specifically, I really only jog to exercise. I know I'm supposed to lift weights. I never get around to lifting weights because every time I walk past the weight room, there are people in there that seem to know what they're doing, and I don't want to not know what I'm doing next to them. So I don't do that, even though I probably should. And I've tried to solve this the way I normally do, which is just look shit up on the internet and go, how do I blank? But when I type, how do I blank? I get a lot of videos that are way above what I can possibly do, so they're not helpful. I'm probably going to have to pay a guy to come teach me how to lift heavy things and the order to lift them in. It'll be an exchange. I will give him cash. He will explain to me what to do in a friendly, non-confrontational way that doesn't make me feel bad about my life decisions. And then I will write that shit down, and then I will just do exactly that same thing every time, because in this thing I'm really not creative. I'm not going to be making up my own whatever. Anyway, so what I do is jog. I've been trying to, like I was trying to do a marathon before I turned 50, and then I screwed up my foot, and now I'm trying to do a marathon before I turn 52 or 51, or however old it is. 52, I think. Yeah, it had to be 52. So I've been running more and more. I moved to this new building at work, which is more friendly for running. So I've been doing a bunch of running there during the day. I've been getting faster. Like, I had my fastest 5K run ever today, which made me feel very good till I remembered that I think I ran faster when I was in 7th grade. So there you go. I've also been walking a lot because the new building is closer to my house. And so I was like, well, I should just walk to work, because that way I'll get a good walk in the morning, and I'll kill a half an hour of time, and I'll be able to think, maybe read some stuff on my phone, maybe listen to some podcasts, I'll do the whole day at work, then I'll walk home. The downside is we are still in the rainy season, so occasionally I will leave work and I'll be like, oh, frick, water's coming from the sky and I have to walk half an hour in it. And then I get home and I'm cold and wet, but I just put on dry clothes. It works. It's fine, people. Lots of walking. Everyone's happy. Anyway, it's April. We did finally manage to see Black Panther. Like 6 weeks after it opened, so we feel like bad nerds. But that said, we have a bunch of friends that went and saw Black Panther the day it opened. And then some of them went and see Black Panther again, like the next day. And some of them were like, we've seen it 3 times. And I'm like, didn't it open 3 days ago? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, you must really like it. And they're like, it's a great movie. You should go see it. We're like, yeah, well, we're going to. But it took us a long time to actually find a night and get ready and go and everything else. We went to the theater we always go to, the little Shoreline one. It's right here next to the theater. We go there because they have those reserved reclining seats, which are great. First of all, you have to get there early to get a good seat. Although Loretta and I always sit in the front row, and strangely in most theaters, the front row does not fill up. So we walk in and sit in the middle of the front row, and we're like, what are all you people doing back there? Meanwhile, all those people are like, how can you possibly enjoy a movie from that close? We do. It's crazy. It's like you can't see anything else. Like if you're halfway back the theater, it occurs to me that a lot of what you're looking at is other people's heads watching a movie. And I don't want to see other people's heads watching a movie. I want to see the movie. Now, the one problem with the way we saw Black Panther, we saw it in 3D because we wanted to see it in 3D. And usually, 3D, it's kind of good in movies. But we were slightly off center. And I don't quite know how that worked, but it was just we were a little too close for as off center as we were. So if we go see it again, which we probably will, we'll be sure to get the center ones. Maybe like a row back with 3D would have been okay. But again, then's the problem. You're going to see the people in the row ahead of you eating popcorn every once in a while, and that would just screw it up for me. So we were a tad too close. We got a tiny bit of a headache watching the movie. Otherwise, great movie. I went in knowing basically nothing about Black Panther, having never read the comic books and having never actually seen the other Marvel movie that I guess he's in. But it was fun. I have a couple thoughts after seeing Black Panther. The movie, first of all, the notion that a country in Africa could be surrounded by force shields so that no one sees it is literally a great idea. But in practice, I'm like, wouldn't someone notice that like there's this one part that no one can remember going to, and anyone that goes there disappears or something? I guess maybe some people vaguely knew about Wakanda, but not. And then I read a beautiful story of some little kid in school who happened to have been from Africa, and all his little classmates were like, "Hey, you're from Africa. Have you been to Wakanda?" And he was like 6. He's like, "No, it's surrounded by force fields." It's like 6-year-olds, man. They just believe stuff, and they believe it's wonderful that they believe it. And then eventually he'll grow up and he'll be jaded, and then he'll discover conditioner. It'll be beautiful. Wakanda, a country apparently really well off because there was a huge vibranium thing. Vibranium's some crazy metal that's unbreakable, which makes me wonder how do you mine vibranium if you can't? Any cool things about Black Panther. First of all the costumes were cool. Like in real life, you couldn't have an entire society where everyone was dressed cool, because there's always a nerd class, a nerd subclass of whatever group you're in, and those people do not know how to dress cool. It's just not in us. We didn't see enough of them. The poorly dressed, socially awkward, really smart nerds of Wakanda. Salutes. Wakanda had I'm a big fan of cool salutes. I've been trying to think of a Keith salute. Nothing yet. Please go to the forums. Suggest cool Keith salutes. Someone suggested a high five in the audience there at the back. It's taken. And first of all, and that's looks a little too much like this. See, you can't, no. It's gotta be, there are salutes that we cannot do anymore. Not for a long time. This one's kind of good. Anyway, we did greatly enjoy it. We're gonna go back and watch Black Panther again when we get it. We'll probably buy it on Blu-ray. I don't think we'll actually get to it in a movie theater again, because there's so many other movies that we also would like to see. And then they keep freaking closing movie theaters around here. Like, what's up with that? Like, people here like to go see movies, but they keep like, hey, we decided to shut the theater down. That was that. In Keith has more money than sense news, comma, April 2018 edition. You know, I used to go to a place called Tech Shop because they had laser engravers, and I like to use laser engravers to laser engrave things because, of course I do. It's a laser, and you use a computer to make it do shit. And that just tickled the heck out of me. Like, I could just watch the laser go back and forth and zap things and burn things, and I just fascinated. I make little movies of it and send them to people like, look at this stuff I made. Here it is. It's zapping. And they're like, yeah, whatever, Keith. And then Tech Shop closed, and I was sad. And I was like, how can I solve this problem? And then I was like, wait, I can exchange money for solving a problem. And I bought a laser, and this huge box showed up in my house. And I was like, now I gotta find a flat space in my house to put this laser, which is large. And then it took me like a week and a half to clean out my closet where I had a bunch of stuff. And then I put the laser in there, and then I was like, oh, my closet is too small for this laser. So I had to clean something else, another place in my computer room, and then I put the laser there, and I put all the stuff that used to be there in the closet where it fits. And now I have a laser in my computer room where I can laser engrave things. So far, I want you to know, I've laser engraved the first sample they give you to make sure your laser works. I haven't gotten to anything else yet because I'm busy with like TV shows and the job and a bunch of other, and jogging. I don't know why. I guess what I'm saying, people, is now I have to actually laser things. Otherwise, I have a very expensive corner of my computer room. Very expensive. It's like when I wanted to exercise, I was like, I should start biking to work, and then I bought a bike, and it was like $1,200. So like the first day on the way home, I was like, well, that ride to work cost $1,200. Seems kind of pricey for a ride to work. And then like the next day, I was like, hey, now it's $600. It's $600 a day to ride to work on my bike. That's what motivated me to get on the bike. It was like I have wasted $1,200 on this bike if I don't actually use it to get back and forth to work. And then I kept track of it for a long time in my head. And at one point I was like, well, now it's under $1 a day for biking to work. So that seems like a little expensive, like it might be a little less gas to get to work. But like if you add up what the car cost and you depreciate it and you add the insurance, like now, finally, after like a year, I have achieved parity, and I did not waste money on this expensive bike. An expensive bike, which I'll point out now sits in my garage because I just walk to work, because it takes me 7 minutes to bike to work, and you can't exercise at all in 7 minutes. So now I have a formerly very expensive bike in my garage, which apparently I need to use occasionally, otherwise I'm wasting. Anyway, I have this laser. I'm going to try and laser engrave things. Here's the other thing. I was in a meeting at work yesterday, and I was leaving the meeting, and I picked up my computer, and I picked up my little AirPods case, and I went home, and then like I got up this morning, and there was email from the people I was in the meeting with. They're like, did anyone grab my AirPods yesterday? Because I can't find them, and the last time I remember having them was this meeting. And I was like, and then I checked my pockets. I have 2 pockets, and I had 2 AirPods. So I was like, well, I guess I took your AirPods. So I emailed them, hey, I got your AirPods. Sorry. They're on the table. I assumed they were mine. So now I'm like, I need to label my AirPods. Now, ordinary people would just be like, well, I'll get some nail polish and I'll put a K on it, or I'll take a Sharpie and I'll write my name, or I'll get one of them label printers. Now I'm like, well, apparently I got to laser engrave my name on my AirPods, because now I can. And I was like, this morning, I was like, well, before I go to work, I should laser engrave my name on the AirPods. I was like, wait, no, I want to laser engrave a cool design on my AirPods. I don't just want to put a name on there, for God's sakes. Anyone could put a name on there. I got to have like a dragon, or like something AirPod-y, like a cloud, maybe a cloud. So it'll take me like 3 weeks to think of something cool to laser engrave on my AirPod case, and then I'll laser engrave it. And then after that, I was like, well, I could actually laser engrave the AirPods themselves too. I mean, they're very tiny, but the laser is pretty precise. So now I'll put my name on the AirPods, and my name on the case, and a cloud, and a bowling ball, and a something else. I don't know, I'll think of it. I'll think of something. Other thing, like back in January, I also bought a vinyl cutter. And I bought a vinyl cutter also because Tech Shop went out of business, so I couldn't use their lasers. I had to make a bunch of glasses for this boat thing I go on every year, because we engrave a bunch of glasses on a laser, and then we would take them to the boat and we would give them to people, and everyone would be like, that's really cool, how'd you do it? And I'd be like, with a laser! And they'd be like, wow, I'm gonna treasure this forever. This year I didn't have a laser, still wanted to make glasses. It's like I had to learn how to make glasses, make engraved glasses without a laser. It involves a vinyl and chemical etching or sandblasting. I also didn't have a sandblasting thing, so I did the chemical etching. Like, I taught myself how to chemically etch glasses. I cut out a bunch of designs on the vinyl, then I sat there with a little picky thingy and weeded all the vinyl out, and I put them on transfer paper, and here's the thing, if you're gonna do engraved glasses using vinyl and chemical etching, it takes a lot longer than with a laser, which is why lasers are great. Sadly, the laser I bought doesn't do this, so I'm still gonna have to, it's fine. I've got the vinyl thing, like I've got it down, I know how it works, we'll figure this out. What else? I mentioned boat. We went on this boat. We went on the Joko cruise. It was fabulous. You should go if you're geeky or nerdy, or if you like board games, or if you're geek adjacent or nerd adjacent or board game adjacent, or if you just like being on a boat and drinking. It's a lovely boat thing. They're doing it a year from now. Nerdboat.com. You could sign up. If you were there, you could see me. They chartered the whole boat. So they did a bunch of, when you charter the whole boat, there are a whole bunch of things that suddenly you could do. One of the things they did is they're like, well, there's an on-boat television network, right? Which normally would be playing ads for Tanzanite and the spa. And they're like, well, we're going to get a channel and everyone can just upload video, and then we will just randomly play that video all day long. So I uploaded all of last year's Keith Explains. So like anyone on the boat occasionally would turn their TV on to this one channel, and they would see me talk about whatever the heck I talk about on this TV show. I don't remember what I talked about last year. There were like 2 or 3 times when people would walk past me in the hallway and go, I saw you on TV last night. And then I always say what I say when someone tells me they've seen the show. I say, I'm sorry. Would you like your money back? And they say, well, no, we thought you were funny. And I'm like, well, thank you. how much did you watch? And they're like, well, like 3 minutes. So I think 3 minutes is like the most that anyone can stand of me. What else? I don't have a lot of time to talk about the boat. I left out of San Diego. This year, for the first time, we took the train from San Jose down to San Diego. It was a delightful trip. I've never been on a train before, and I might never be on a train ever again. Not because I had a bad time, but because the only reason I got on the train is a whole bunch of other people that were also going on the cruise also got on the train. Same train. Started up in Seattle. A bunch of them got on up there. More of them got on in Portland. More of them got on wherever the heck else. A couple of us got on here. We took over the whole observation car. We had the tables. We played board games. We talked to each other. It was delightful. Nothing went wrong on our train ride. We pretty much got there on time. Food's expensive on trains, people. That was fun. The whole train part. We drove back in a rental car because we wanted to go to Legoland. And we couldn't figure how to take the train and go to Legoland. In retrospect, Legoland was kind of a bust. So maybe it would have been better to take the train back. Loretta and I went to Legoland in like 2001. And I know that because I took a bunch of pictures and I looked up the dates, 2001. And in 2001, I had a lot of fun at Legoland. I walked around and went, man, they built that thing out of Lego. Man, they built another thing out of Lego. This is all very cool to look at. This time, turns out Legoland is still a bunch of things built out of Lego. Now, they weren't as impressive the second time. I'm like, as you know, I have a lot of Lego in my attic in boxes waiting to be assembled. Like multiple, many, many, many hundred-apiece kits that if I had a lot of time, I'd be putting together and hanging from the ceiling in my library. But I don't. So I am a Lego person, but I think Legoland is it's either a once in your adult life or only go with children under the age of 12 because they will enjoy Legoland. They'll go on the little Legoland rides. You will be like, hey, go on that ride. We'll be here on land and we'll wait for you, and then they'll come back and then you'll go to the next one. That's Legoland. I don't have a lot of time to talk about the boat, right? I got like 20 seconds left, I think, as I understand. I'm not even going to start the next topic. People, it's been a lovely time. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please go to the forums and suggest more topics. They're at keithexplains.com. You can send me tweets. No one ever does, but you can send me topic things there. We'll see you next month. No, we won't, because I'm out of town in May.